This a LP.
All right. What is going on, everybody? We are live for just talking some football, some NFL talk show. We're talking some trades, some Super Bowl, some news, some rumors. You name it, it's all things football over here. What's going on, everybody? What's going on, AMF? What's going on, The Green? What's going on, Topher Larson, Jeffrey Foster, Detroit Legend Sportscast, Topher. Oh, I've already said your name. Chase Bishop, hashtag Freedom, Mr. Beck, Martell Melton. What's going on, everybody? I needed me some Troxel tonight. Hey, appreciate that, Chase. Missed you guys all last week. Man, what's going on in Ithai? Mazzy Buko. Hopefully I said your name correctly. What's going on? Hey, missed you guys all too, and gals. You guys are truly awesome and amazing. Appreciate each and every single one of you. Oops, hold on a second. We did forget a few things. Hold on. Okay. Wait, why is there two? I don't know. We're all messed up over here. Man. Hold on, let me see something. Okay, I know we could do that. We could do that. We could do. Oops, hold on. Where's the view? Oh, right here. Why is it upside down? What in the world? Hey, shout out to the Green with the $4.99 super chat. Says, keep up the good work, my man. Hey, appreciate that. I don't know why that is upside down. That is crazy. Hold on a second. Let me see, it is upside. I have never seen that happen before. Okay, so I guess we're not going to use the view counter. So, oh man, I don't know what's going on. That is super weird. It is upside down, and I don't know how to fix it. So we're not going to deal with that. What's going on, MLB Charlie? How's everybody doing? So we did have some breaking news over the weekend. It was about the Matthew Stafford getting traded over to the Los Angeles Rams for 2 first-round draft picks in 2022 and 2023 and a third-round draft pick in 2021 with Jared Goff in exchange for Matthew Stafford. And, initially when I got out on the Gridiron Blitz's channel when it happened, I hated the trade. I absolutely hated it. I was just like, Jared Goff, are you kidding me? Things of that nature. What's going on, Aziz Taylor? What's going on, Nick? What's going on, Eric Church? Bolt? Detroit Lions Talk with MicroMike. What's going on, everybody? At first I didn't like it. MicroMike, and let you guys know in the chat, I hated it. I mean, I could not stand that trade. I was like, Jared Goff, are you kidding me? Arrgh! There's so much money, this, that, the other. Then I started doing my research. Then I started breaking down his film. Then I started looking at his contract situation. And I just found out, even as much as today, Jared Goff technically is only good for this year on his contract. Next year, so if say Jared Goff falls flat on his face, just use the hypothetical. Say he falls flat on his face. The Lions can trade him and be accounted for before the new league year. Or, I'm sorry, before his guaranteed money comes into play. We could trade him and it'd be counted against 0% on the books. $0. He'll be accounted for if we trade him next year. What isn't there to love? And you get 2 first-round draft picks and a 3rd round this year. Hey, Brad Holmes, my guy, you a genius. You a genius. I was just like, oh my God. In fact, hold on. Let's do it, and let's do it right.
Oh my God.
Let's do it, and let's do it right. Man, what's going on, Hollywood 80? How's it going, brother? Hold on, let me see. So you traded Gunslinger Stafford for a skinny, overpriced Lance Bass wannabe?
Got him.
Oh man, hey, we gonna have some fun today. Golf only 27.2, or 27, 2 first round picks. Lions fleeced LA, says Aziz Taylor. Absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't say a full on fleece, because a fleece, I mean, you would have got 3 first round draft picks, a 2nd round draft pick, a 3rd round draft pick. I mean, we would have got some stuff, but I mean, this is borderline. This is borderline fleecing. I would call this a borderline fleece. Hollywood 80's like, Rams are stupid. Come on, man. What's going on, Linda? What's going on, Druzy? What's going on, Jack McNeil, Jay Sneathan, Dean Robinson, Shirley Channel, Kelly Gardner? How's everybody doing today? Need a new jersey, bro? LOL. Hey, I gotta rock my number 9. I mean, since 2009, that's been our starting quarterback. So it's gonna definitely be weird not seeing number 9 in a Lions uniform. But I'm actually very happy about this. Matthew Stafford can go out there and finally win. He has a defense. He has a run game. He got underrated tight ends. He got wide receivers over there. He got a halfway decent offensive line in LA. If he's going to win, he's in the best position to win. If he doesn't win, now we can talk about, okay, was Matthew Stafford, all the hype? Was he worth all the hype? Was he worth a 1st overall pick? Now you could start saying that, because now there's no excuses. He has a run game. He has tight ends. He has wide receivers. He has a defense. He has a solid offensive line. There would be no excuses. What's going on, Marcus? What's going on, Martel? What's going on, Angel? How's everybody doing today? We play the Rams this year too? Absolutely we do. I'm excited about that too. I mean, let's go. I think that game's going to be on prime time. I hope so. I hope that game's on prime time. What's going on, Fortnite noob? How's it going? But if Stafford wins a Super Bowl, that would be a gut punch. It will, but then in the same token, you just got to be proud for the man. I mean, we failed him. As a Detroit Lion, we failed him. It sucks. It really does. We spent a first-round draft pick. We had the best wide receiver probably in the game. That's not named Jerry Rice. I mean, we had it. We just never had an offensive line to protect him. When the Minnesota Vikings teed off on him 10 times in a single game, that's an issue. Then the very next week gets teed off, I think it was 8 times or 9 times. That's an issue. Matthew Stafford should not be getting teed off 19 times in the course of 2 weeks. No team should be doing that. If you're going to win football games, you can't be doing it. Games are won and lost in the trenches. That was one thing that we definitely didn't do. We didn't protect our quarterback. What's going on, Justin May the rapper? How's it going, brother? What's going on, Boston? What's up, the Derrn? I'm shocked we got more than a third and a fifth. Hey. Hey, Mike, brother. Mike, my brother. Hey. I done told y'all. Hey, 2 first-round draft picks and at least a third. I am not trading number 9 for nothing less. And they sweetened up the pot and gave us Jared Goff. Hey, come on now. Hey, absolutely. If you guys are not subscribed to Justin May the Rapper, definitely do so. What's up, Jay White? What's going on, Ice Rex Gaming? What's going on, Cardinals Kid? Jose, how's it going? Keith Mack, what's going on? What's up, Jorge? Says, cheers, trucks. Now it's time for you to move to Los Angeles. Hey, don't tempt me with a warm climate now. Me and Mike would be gone. Hey, yeah, you talking about warm climate all year round? Let's go. What's going on, Mikey G? What's going on, a lava demon? Honestly stunned the Bucks will have home field advantage this Super Bowl. Hey, absolutely. And we're going to get into that in a little bit. We're talking right now about the Lions trading with the Rams, Matthew Stafford for Jared Goff. And then after that, we're going to get into, our next topic, which would be the Super Bowl. But absolutely, that's, hey, one thing I'm going to say before we get on to that topic. Tom Brady and history on the line. Enough said. Oh, absolutely, Jay White. We definitely got a haul. I was super excited about that, what we got in return. We got 2 first-round draft picks, exactly what we needed. We're shout out to MicroMike or Detroit Lions Talk with MicroMike. If you're not subscribed, that is my brother here in the Infinite Sports Network. Also, the Derrn is also a member of the Infinite Sports Network. Definitely tune into his channel as well. What's going on, Hagen Barnes? How's it going? That is exactly what the Detroit Lions needed. We needed draft picks. Now in the course of three years, and this is where I go to the shout out to MicroMike. He let me know, I think it was yesterday or the other day, we have 5 first-round draft picks in the course of 3 years. Plus our own picks. Like, that is amazing. This is the type of stuff that now we can start building here in Detroit. Dan Campbell wants guys that bite people's kneecaps off and keeps on getting up and keeps on wanting to fight. This is the type of stuff where you can build that type of stuff back here in Detroit, Michigan. Angel says, I'm subbed. Hey, appreciate that, Angel. What's going on, Ken V? Who will be the Colts quarterback? That's going to be interesting. Do they call the Houston Texans about Deshaun Watson? Can they talk into, the Green Bay Packers about, one Mr. Aaron, the man, the bad man Rodgers? There's going to be a lot of talks, and, don't sleep on them trying to move up in the draft. Maybe they move up in the draft. Maybe grab a Zach Wilson or a Trey Lance. Maybe they wait till next year. Use Jacoby Brissett like they did the year that, Andrew Luck retired, and use the Jacoby Brissett for a year. Go in next year, go get a Spencer Rattler. Go get a Desmond Riddler. I mean, that's the one thing about the Colts is they're in prime position. Once they get their quarterback, watch out. What's up, Josh Jackson? What's going on, David Adamski? You look like a twin Matt Patricia. LOL, I'm just saying. Hey, but the only thing, though, Justin, is I can coach better than him. Hey, here you go. Hey, absolutely. We're having fun here today. What's the news on Ben Roethlisberger? So the news on Big Ben is he's willing to take a pay cut to come back for another year. So that could give, the Pittsburgh Steelers one more year to try to get their quarterback. Maybe if they can draft another quarterback, maybe, like I said, a Desmond Riddler, a Spencer Rattler, who else? A Trey Lance. Maybe they move up. Maybe they go up for Zach Wilson. Groom him for a year under Big Ben Roethlisberger, and then when he retires, give the keys to the young fella. I mean, that's going to be something, that's between the Colts and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Those two teams are going to be a team to keep an eye out when it comes to the quarterback situation, because I think that's the only thing that they're going to be missing. It's time for the Steelers to go younger. Get them younger, let them get the tools, and I think that's exactly what the Detroit Lions are even trying to do as well. Let's build this thing. Let's build it right. How can I say this in a better way? I think this is going to be exactly like the Kansas City Chiefs did. They went and traded for a Alex Smith. Built the team around Alex Smith. A year down the road, drafted Patrick Mahomes, had him sit another year, went out, and then traded away Alex Smith and brought in a Patrick Mahomes. And look at them now. 2 years after doing that move, he won a Super Bowl. Maybe 3 years. If I'm not 100% sure if it was 2 or 3 years, but within the 3-year time frame, won a Super Bowl, and now is one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL at $500 million, $500 million. That's crazy. What's going on, Brad Duncan? See if I missed anybody. What's going on, West Branch Ball? What's up, Josh Jackson? So, I mean, what's up, Buck Skull Gang in the house? What's up, Dominic Pope? But, oh, man, if we could do what the quote-unquote, Kansas City did with Brad Holmes at the helm and, oh, man, I've just lost my train of thought. Dan Campbell, I'm sorry. Dan Campbell. If we could do something like that, and let me rattle off the coaching staff for Dan Campbell, and then let me rattle off some of the names that they signed in the front office. Hold on, let me bring up my notes. Okay, so the actual staff. You guys ready for this? At general manager, Brad Holmes. Assistant general manager, Ray Agnew. Senior executive general manager, John Dorsey. Senior vice president of football and business, Mike Disner. Your head coach, Dan Campbell. Your offensive coordinator, who, like MicroMike has been preaching since day one, who helped coach, Justin Herbert, who, if you guys watched my film last year during the Rose Bowl, y'all know I done told you guys that Justin Herbert could be the first overall pick. The kid was talented. Like, when you see the game film, you knew he had some talent. Help develop him. Defensive coordinator, you got Aaron Glenn. Assistant defensive coordinator, you got Dom Capers, a Super Bowl winning defensive coordinator with the Packers. So he knows this division. Special teams, you got Dave Phipp from the Philadelphia Eagles. Quarterback coach, you got Mark Brunell, who's been in the league, what was that, 18 years, 19 years, something like that. Running back coach, you got Deuce Staley, who's also the assistant head coach. Offensive line, you retained Hank Fraley. Wide receiver coach, I've heard about 2 names so far. We did lose Robert Prince. He went to the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans finally made a right hire. In stealing our wide receiver coach. He's a darn good wide receiver coach. And, hey, I'm going to miss him. I'm definitely going to miss Robert Prince. But a name that's coming up with the Detroit Lions is Hines Ward, a first ballot Hall of Fame wide receiver, a guy that's won Super Bowls, And then we're also looking at, who is that? Antoine Randall as well. At wide receiver coach, we did retain Ben Johnson. We don't have a defensive line coach as of right now. We went and stole Mark DeLeon from the Chicago Bears. We went and signed former Detroit Lion Kelvin Shepard as another linebacker coach. I think he's going to be our outside linebacker, as Mark DeLeon is going to be the inside linebacker coach. And then we went and got Aubrey Pleasant, and who else did we? Oh, yeah, and he's going to be our secondary coach. Our strength and conditioning coach, we went and signed Mike Clark. Like, that rate, I think off air, Mike, Grid, TA, and myself, we were all saying, like, this front office is the Fantastic Four. This coaching staff is like the Avengers in Endgame. Like, they're not going to be stopped. They're going to come in here, they're going to do their job, and they're going to do it at a high level. And if you're not with it, and you're not going to be motivated and things of that nature, you're not going to last here in Detroit. And I'm loving that. What's going on, One Pride 40? Trox Golf will be fine. Just wait. I've been watching a lot of his film. And, with Matthew Stafford, you don't really see him as a mobile quarterback. Jared Goff, that's one of his undervalued skill set. If he got about 7 or 8 yards for the touchdown, he's going to take off running for that touchdown. I'm absolutely going to love how they're going to build this team, because why? What is the 4 key goals of all season long? All 18 weeks have I been preaching. You run the football, you stop the run, you play sound defense, and you play disciplined football, and I guarantee you'll be playing here in February. And this is another step in towards that. You went and signed Deuce Staley. Deuce Staley is one of the greatest running backs we've seen at bruising people up. He's like my version of, Jerome Bettis. He just bulldoze you. What's the shortest way from the line of scrimmage to the end zone? Straight up the middle. That's why when I was watching Detroit Lion games and just games in general, the one thing that got me irritated, quick, fast, and in a hurry. Yes, I know, bad offensive line play. Hey, appreciate that, OG Cali Kush. Welcome to the membership. But what was the one thing that, that got me going outside of horrible offensive line play or defensive line play? Running up the gut. Why? Because it's the shortest distance to the end zone. You want to get yardage quick, fast, and in a hurry, you run up the middle. As a defense, you want to stop that. Make them go out to the outside. Get the outside edge. Things of that nature. Why? Because that's more yardage and that's more exertion you got to spend your energy on. Trying to get outside, then cutting over here, then cutting over there, then going straight. Say a 50-yarder now turned into, say, a 60, 70-yarder. Why? Because you got to cut out that way, cut in this way, then go straight down the line. So you get that mobility. You get, where you're able to play man up on offense. Now you have, Jared Goff sitting there throwing one-on-ones, or even if that's all taken, your running back can get in there. If your running back's guard, well, guess what? Hey, I'll just take it myself. Get the first down, get out of bounds. Move those chains. It's those little minute things that if the Detroit Lions could do well, holy smokes, it's going to be amazing. Lions back to the offseason champs. Hey, no, David. I think this year is probably their best offseason. And that's real talk. I think this year is one of their better off seasons. You came in, you had a plan, you started executing it, and it's going to be an amazing thing to see. I'm not expecting no anything over 500. I think 500 is absolute max. I'm not looking at, I would say, because there's 17 games, it can't be no 500. But I mean, 7-9 is like the absolute max. But I mean, if every single game they get better at something, I'm going to be happy. Stay good at one thing if you're good that week, get better at something else. Be good at those two other things, do something good on something else. Keep building every single game. You do that, you're going to start getting into a repetition, you're going to start getting into a rhythm, and once you do that, it's going to result into wins eventually. If we could do that, Lions could be in a good shape. Defensively, they're going to have to make a lot of trades. I think this is probably one of the first ones that's going to be, out there. And, as we get closer to the draft, as we get closer to free agency, you're going to see a little bit more movement with the Detroit Lions. And I think that's where you're going to see a lot of your trades with, say, the Indianapolis Colts, with the Deshaun Watsons and the Houston Texans. Houston Texans also are saying that that they're going to try to move J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt is now on the trading block. What is he going to garner? Could they get, some extra money to where once you trade out Deshaun Watson, they can go out and start making some moves, start getting some, what they need to do is start getting some draft picks. Blow the entire team up, trade Deshaun Watson, trade everybody. Start getting draft picks. Rebuild this thing from scratch. Because you messed up when you didn't allow Deshaun Watson to help pick your general manager and your head coach. So rebuild this thing from the ground up and do this the right way. And that's the one thing I'm actually really excited about the Detroit Lions and what they're trying to do right now. And that is trying to build this thing the right way. They're getting the draft picks. We got 5 first-round draft picks in 3 years. On top of that, we got our second-round picks, our third-round picks. We're starting to get them back. This is the last year we're going to not have really a lot of picks. We got 6 now. We got 6 draft picks. We don't have a 6th-round draft pick. We don't have a 7th-round draft pick. But you got 2 in the 3rd, a 2nd, a 1st, a 4th, and a 5th. So, I mean, maybe you move up, maybe you move down in the draft, start building some things out and start building this thing the right way. One Pride 40 says they're taking a quarterback. They could still very well take a quarterback. Like I said, if Jared Goff falls flat on his face this coming up season, you could trade him, for a bag of almond M&Ms, sixth round pick or fifth or seventh round draft pick, it counts for $0 against that salary cap. That is awesome. We need money, and we need players, and we need draft picks. He would be counting for 0% of our salary cap if we trade him next season. What better way than that? Like, and if he does well, guess what? You got a guy that's 7 years younger than Matthew Stafford. He's mobile. He's going to be doing different things that Matthew Stafford couldn't do. And, he's not going to be able to do some of the things. So, you trade off some of the skill sets, and that's where a Mark Brunell, that's where a Dan Campbell and things like that, that's where all these guys are going to come into play. What's going on, Ordinary Pete? What's going on, Tyler? Yeah, but I'm saying I want to... Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was kind of a deal breaker. But I mean, hey, if I'm Sean McVay though, Josh, if I'm Sean McVay, I'll come in there strutting around like I'm Vince McMahon. I'd play that off so smooth they'd call me a smooth criminal. I mean, come on now. Is Sean McVay soft? That's something that you got to ask yourself. What's going on, Dime? But yeah, I mean, if that's what's gonna, get a person all in their feelings, I mean, come on now. I would have came in, smooth as a smooth criminal, and came in strutting like I'm Vince McMahon. Like, come on now. Hey, what's going on, Drake? So sorry for not being on your channel. Nice to see you. Hey, appreciate that, Drake. But what's going on, Playboy Brian? But I mean, our next thing is, here comes the Super Bowl here in what? 6 more days? This time on Sunday, we're going to be watching the Super Bowl here on Troxel Sports Talk. And we got the defending world champions going up against a team finally playing at home for the first time in NFL history at the Super Bowl in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That matchup is going to be electric. I mean, we are talking about history on the line. And like I said earlier, when it comes to history and Tom Brady, that's 2 things you don't want to bet against that man, because Tom Brady is Tom Brady. And it's been a minute since Tom Brady has won a Super Bowl, so he's going to be feeling a little hungry. Usually he wins the Super Bowl every other year since 2012. It's been a minute. It's been about 2 years, maybe even 3, since he's hoisted that Vince Lombardi trophy over his head. So he's going to come out there a little hungry. And, when you got Tom Brady hungry, man, it's going to be lights out. But I'm looking for an electric game. It's not going to be easy for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, not whatsoever. The Kansas City Chiefs are the defending world heavyweight champions of the world, and they're not going to lay down and take a nap for nothing. Oh, no. You got Patrick Mahomes. You got the speedster in the Cheetah, Tyreek Hill. You got, Travis Kelce. You got a solid offensive line. They are going to be without Fisher. He is going to be out, but that defense, they got the Honey Badger. They got weapons over there. They got one of the better, pass rushers in Chris Jones, and things like that. So they're not going to be light. They got to come out and stick it to Tom Brady and stick it often, and don't get away from the run game when you are up. That was the same mistake the San Francisco 49ers did last year. That was the same thing that the Atlanta Falcons did when they gave up the 28-3 lead. When you're up via your run game, don't come out the second half thinking that you're the next, Troy Aikman or whoever and think that you're going to win a football game. No. If you're up via your run game, keep running it down their throat. You got to run that football. You got to stop that run, play sound defense, and disciplined football. You do those 4 things, I guarantee you're going to win a Super Bowl, especially if you're up at halftime, 28-3. So it's going to be fun. This Super Bowl is going to be fun. Why do I say that? You're going to even see Le'Veon Bell versus Antonio Brown, former teammates with the Steel Curtain, with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and you're going to see them go head-to-head for the title, for the entire chip. Then you got Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski, Patrick Mahomes, and also you got Tyreek Hill, and also you got Travis Kelce and Rob Gronkowski. Like, you got weapons and stars everywhere. Both of their defenses that you're going to see is going to be lights out. Like, this is going to be a fun Super Bowl, one that we have not seen in a long time. This game could even go into double overtime, folks. Don't be shocked if this thing can even make more history. A few years ago, we seen history made with one off overtime. This year, it could be 2 overtimes. I mean, what better way? COVID year, you got 2 overtimes. You got, a team playing at home for the first time in NFL history. I mean, holy smokes. This game is going to be a must-watch game. And if you're away from your TVs or you love rocking with your boy, definitely come through Trox of Sports Talk and watch the Super Bowl because we about to have a blast. Tommy and Gronky, absolutely. Detroit Lions Talk with MicroMike. What's going on, John Adams? How's it going? What's up, Michael Collins? What's going on, Wick Nation? How's it going? What's going on, Linda Brennan? How's everybody doing? But, man, this Super Bowl is going to be awesome. Hold on a second. Okay, hold on a second. I got to fix something real quick. Where is my webcam? Okay, nope. I got to go here. Okay, there we go. All right, there we go. What's going on, Jesse Bevins? What's going on? How's it going? Brady is Thanos. Hey, Detroit Lions Talk with MicroMike. Apparently, ISN is Thanos because we just slaying the game. With the Lions getting Goff, they should have to pick up a receiver. LOL, a lot of Rashad Bateman, and the rest should go to an O-line. Me and Mike, I think are pretty much on the same page. If Penei Sewell can drop to 7, you stay at 7, you pick Penei Sewell. Like, quick, fast, and in a hurry. You throw him at the right tackle position. This is going to be your offensive line for Jared Goff. You got Tyler Decker. You got Logan Stenberg. You got Frank Ragnow. You got Jonah Jackson and Penei Sewell. And then you got TJ Hawkinson helping in the block. Come on now. That's going to, that would be, holy smokes. Do the Fords still own the Lions? Yes, John Adams, they do still own the Lions. It is Sheila Ford Hemp. So she might not have the super last name of Ford, but she's still a Ford. But I love what she's doing. She's getting football people, former players, former GMs. Like, they went and got John Dorsey. John Dorsey built the Kansas City Chiefs, who's now in the Super Bowl. He went and got John Dorsey, who helped rebuild the Cleveland Browns, who just this season, went to the playoffs and won a playoff game. Detroit Lions, we got to catch up, brothers. Come on now. We got to catch up. But that was a great signing. I was super, oh my goodness. I almost fell out my chair because I was jumping for joy. Not really, but you know what I mean, because obviously I can't do that with my back. But I was excited. I was excited. What's going on? JT is in the building. What's going on? What's going on, Rick H? Josh, I still don't like Brady. As a Bucks fan, I have to support him. What's going on, Bartholomew Brown? How's it going? Cardinal Skid says, I'm picking the Kansas City Chiefs. Mikey G says, or Slater. Yes, there's also Slater that could be coming out in this draft that, the Detroit Lions could look at right tackle. I think you could kind of trade back a little bit. Instead of 7, maybe you go, say, the 12. Maybe you give up the 7th pick for the who has the 7th or the 12th pick. The San Francisco 49ers. Maybe they give up that trade. Maybe then that's how the San Francisco 49ers can move on from, Jimmy Garoppolo. If they cut him, that's $0 against their cap, So they can cut him for half to nothing, and they got their starting quarterback. Maybe it is Zach Wilson. Maybe it is Trey Lance. We move back to number 12. We pick up Slater. Hey, that's a win-win. What's going on, Albert Smith? Detroit traded Matthew Stafford, a big mistake. I personally don't, because Detroit is horrendous. I'm talking about they were so bad on defense, it made the 2008 team, who went 0-16, look like world champions. That's how bad that Detroit Lions defense was in 2020. Thank you, Matt Patricia. Thank you, Bob Quinn. We went from the number 2 overall defense in 2014, 6 years later, to being dead last. Dead last. Hakuna Matata. Oh, what a wonderful time. Hakuna Matata. Holy crap, that was horrible. Because thank you, Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn, for sending us back even prior to 2008, where we were winless. Because it's a Hakuna Matata. Oh, man. That was horrible. So we needed the draft picks. Now we got 5 draft picks, 5 first-round draft picks in 3 years. We're going to have our 1 this year, 2 next year, 2 the following year, and then we're back to 1. But that's a lot of talent. Now you can move up, move down, move around the draft a lot better. And maybe you do something like the Miami Dolphins. Start selling some of your players. Take this year off a little bit. Sell some of your players. Getting all these other draft picks, rebuilding it, and maybe next year after that, you're at least competing for the playoffs. Second year, boom, maybe you make the playoffs. Third year, maybe you're making a deep run in the playoffs. We could do stuff like that now with these draft picks. Do you like golf with the Lions? At first, my first initial reactions, I hated it. I absolutely hated it. I was like, no, what are we doing? That salary cap, we're going to be screwed. And then I really did my research on that salary cap. Technically, we're only on the hook for this year. This is a Jared Goff, you must perform or you're done. And on top of that, you're fighting for your starting quarterback job. Like Matthew, that's the beauty part about it. That's the mind blowing part about it. He goes to we trade Matthew Stafford over to LA. Matthew Stafford's 33 years old, had 2 broken backs, all these injuries, 2 broken shoulders, all these other injuries and things like that. We get rid of him. We get 2 first-round draft picks and a third and Jared Goff, and all we're on the hook for is one of those years. Because if you if you trade him next year prior to his bonus, $0 against the salary cap. So you can cut him and it's scot-free. That did not happen. Like, that's winning football. That is winning football right there. Make those trades. Those are the type of trades that I absolutely love. Yes, we're screwed this year when it comes to salary. Next year, it's all wide open. It is all wide open. And you can start getting some of these free agents. Hey, you're bad at this position. You show the NFL, hey, what we're building here is about to be something nice. You better get on now. Because if you come on late, it's just like the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Pistons back in 2005. What did they tell Antonio McDice? They told Antonio McDice, look, Dice, you either roll with us or you get rolled on. Take your pick, brother. Take your pick. What do? He made a painful decision. He said, you know what? Let me grab my bags, and I'm heading my behind to Detroit, Michigan, because I want to roll with y'all. And he signed. So, this front office, they're making noise. The more noise we make, guess what? The more people are going to start paying attention. The more people start paying attention, that's more people that's going to try to come on in. And, the thing about Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford's 33 years old, has dealt with a lot of injuries. And he's not going to be a mobile quarterback like it is headed towards in the NFL. Shout out to TA Noble Sports. Get well, my brother. Hey, what's going on, Drum Monkey? Drum Monkey's in the building. What's going on, brother? But, man, that's where you got to just go out and start making some noise. Like, right now, the pot is hot. You got some national news. You're making headlines. All the radio waves are talking about this trade. All the, ESPNs, NFL networks, things of that nature. You're being talked about. Detroit Lions, we don't know what being talked about besides the negative light is all about. This is your time. Start making some noise. This offseason, you got to hit on all cylinders. Free agencies, guess what? This is how I'm going to build it, folks. I'm going to take 1-year deals, prove it deals. Hey, here's this 1-year deal. If we like you, here's the 2nd year. We'll keep you, and it'll be fully guaranteed. If not, we cut bait. We move on. You could go somewhere that, you could start winning football games and things of that nature and maybe get back on track. These 1-year deals, prove it deals, that's how I'm going to build my squad around this year. Start trying to plug in some holes. Try to start moving some players. You work the trade market, work the free agency market, and most importantly, and I mean most importantly, hit on your draft picks. Bob Quinn, I'm talking to you. 46 draft picks you have selected. 27 still here. And only 8 are worth anything. That is pathetic. That is why you failed. That is why you have been fired. And that is why you're still unemployed. You have not hit on a lot of draft picks. You got lucky with TJ Hawkinson. Shout out to myself. Doing the homework. Begging. Tweeting Rod Wood every single day. You better not miss on this guy. You better not miss on this guy. Here's game film. Here's game film. Here's game film. Better not miss on this guy. I plugged T.J. Hawkinson on Rod Wood till I was blue in the face. That's probably the only reason why we picked T.J. Hawkinson. You know, T.J. Hawkinson was a guy you could not miss on. He finished his food. Shout out to Voch Lombardi. He finished his food. Those are guys that'll bite your kneecaps off when they kick you when you're down. Jeff Okudah. Now, granted, yes, we should have picked Justin Herbert. It was a smarter pick. Corners take 3 years to develop. But when have we ever had two corners that are starting caliber corners? We've never had that. Not with Dre Bly, not with Darius Slay. Do I have to go back in history? Because I could go back if you need me to. We've never had that. You have, Amani Oruwariye on one side, Jeff Okudah on the other side, and let's go to work. Let's go to work. And now you got Aubrey Pleasant and you got Aaron Glenn who specializes in corners and secondary, running our secondary and our defense. Come on now. Hey, Tracy Walker's about to have a breakout season. Tracy Walker is going to bounce back, folks. He's going to have a nice season. Jeff Okudah is going to bounce back. Amani Oruwariye is going to take a next step in his development. It's going to take time, but they're going to start taking steps forward instead of steps back, like it has been with the Patriot way. And shout out to Danny Amendola, man. What's going on, Chad Skinner? What's going on, Fluff Roblox? What's going on, Shane Skidmore? Armor John, how's it going? JD, what's going on? See if I missed anybody else. What's up, Senior? Henry Hayes, how's it going? What time are you going to start on game day? I'll probably be on early. I'll probably be on almost all day Sunday. Because we're gonna amp this thing up. What's up, Marcus? Stephen David? How's everybody doing? You missed golf? Call him now. But, holy smokes, like, the Detroit Lions have got to hit. And if they can hit, sky's going to be the limit, folks. Sky is going to be the limit. Linda says, ooh, what time does the drinking start on Sunday? Asking for a friend, of course. Hey, it might be all day. Don't suppose to you could mass tweet Nagy and Pace and help them draft first round trucks? Hey, come on now. That's a division rival though, bro. Hey, that's a division rival with the Detroit Simbas. Hey, but if I know that they got a Twitter account, I'll hook you up. I'll tell them draft a quarterback, not Mitchell Trubisky, when there's Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes. Like that's the one thing like that really shocked me about it. It's like you had Patrick Mahomes, you had Deshaun Watson. You moved up. I mean, at first when I heard that the Bears moved to the second overall pick, I said, oh my God, they just went and got, Deshaun Watson. And then I heard Mitchell Trubisky. I was like, what? Ain't no quarterback ever made it out of North Carolina. Ain't no quarterback ever made it out of North Carolina. What are you doing? Because I was like, oh my God, they went and got Deshaun Watson. They moved up. They had to have taken him. And then I hear Mitchell Trubisky. I'm all like,
oh my God.
I was like, no, come on. But that's the one thing that Pace has got to do. Pace has got to right that wrong. Rewrite that wrong. You messed up. You should account for it and right that wrong. If you're going to be aggressive, try to win this Super Bowl, try to compete in the playoffs, things of that nature, because you got a defense. The Chicago Bears got a defense. And the Chicago Bears are not a team that you're going to just sit there and be like, oh, we're going to beat you. No. Even the Green Bay Packers had problems with them. And that was with Nick Foles and Mitchell Trubisky. Obviously, the talent deficiency helped Green Bay out in the overall scheme, but in the same token, it's like, holy smokes, like, rewrite that wrong. Go get your quarterback. Don't let Khalil Mack go to waste. If it is true that, you could try to get a Deshaun Watson that you should have drafted, go out and make that trade. Sell the farm for him. Like, go out and get your quarterback because you got the defense to get you over the hump. It's your quarterback. You get him. Maybe you go and have enough money, go re-sign Allen Robinson, who's a stud wide receiver. And with whatever draft picks you got left, maybe you add another receiver. Help it out. You got a great running back in David Montgomery. Me personally, as a Lions fan, I love David Montgomery. The dude is super underrated, and if he had an offensive line that can open up holes, watch out. He's going to run down your throat. He's one of those running backs that will run down your throat and take nothing for anything. He'll run it down your throat and say, you know what? Stop me, because you can't. That's David Montgomery. Get your quarterback, get your offensive line. You do those two things, the sky's the limit. Because I like your tight end and Clement. A couple of years, he's going to develop into a very good tight end. You re-sign Allen Robinson. Who else is your wide receiver opposite of Allen? He's solid. You go out, you get yourself, a mid-round draft pick at wide receiver, because you know that a lot of your talented wide receivers actually are not your first-round picks. It's actually later out in your draft. Same thing with running backs. A lot of your running backs that are great are mid-round draft picks. You don't have to spend a first-round pick on those, because they come a dime a dozen. Your trenches and your quarterback and your linebacking core, a good one. Those are hard to find in your first I want to say first 3 rounds. If you could walk out with 1 or 2 of those in your first 3 rounds, you had a great draft in the early part of your rounds. Wide receivers, running backs, they come a dime a dozen. Like, if you're not a Saquon Barkley, a guy that's going to be a generational talent, I can wait on you. Because guess what? You're going to come a dime a dozen. J.K. Dobbins, I thought was going to be the first-round pick, a first-round talent. I thought he was going to Kansas City. Clyde Edwards-Helaire was that pick. It did shock me, because I was like, what are they doing? They just passed on J.K. Dobbins? They just passed on DeAndre Swift? What are they doing? Well, I see what they did. I see what they did. But a lot of these skill position players, they're later round draft picks. They're not your top. Kenny Galladay's a 3rd round draft pick. Like, a lot of your top tier talent is not, in your skill position, like your wide receivers, your tight ends, and your running backs. They're not first round talent or first round picks. They're 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, or 7th round picks, and they pan out. When's the Super Bowl starting? I think it starts at, I want to say, about 6 o'clock, but I'll be on early. The Lions literally gained on McVay's insecurities. What? hey, hey, it's all good. Let us keep on what do you call it? Gaining from other people's insecurities. Pistons game versus Nuggets postponed tonight. Chase Bishop says, "Da Bears." What's going on, 7 Trace McSorley? What's going on, bro? You know, but I mean, holy smokes! Like, if they can, like, Chicago's a super wild card. You know, Pittsburgh is a super wild card. Indianapolis is going to be another super wild card team. You know, they get their quarterback. Watch out, because they're almost right there. Like, if say Stafford would have went to the Indianapolis Colts, he had a run game with the guy I wanted to draft as running back, which was Jonathan Taylor. I love me some Jonathan Taylor. That dude is a 3-down back, maybe even a 4-down back. Got him in the second round. And I love me some Jonathan Taylor. I scouted that man. I said, that's a Detroit Lion player right there. Second best one since Barry Sanders. We passed on him. Typical Lions. But in the same token, though, we did get a great draft pick in DeAndre Swift. I like me some DeAndre Swift, too. I used to watch a lot of Georgia games, obviously, because I watched the playoffs and things of that nature. So I watch a lot of that. What's going on, Vash Starwin? Vash Starwin's in the building. What's going on, brother? Super Bowl is on my birthday. LOL, February 7th. Hey, happy early birthday, brother. Come on back on Sunday, and I'll wish you a live happy birthday. What's going on, D-Roar? Trox Man, what's going on, brother? Good dude, too. Hey, I appreciate that, bro. Says Trox Rocks. Good dude, too. Appreciate that, brother. Trox, let's talk about the Eagles screwing my team's playoffs year on purpose. Who are you talking about, Marcus? Are you talking about the Cardinals? Because I know they messed up them too. Oh, the Giants. Okay. Yeah. And oh my God. And that is why Peterson has been fired. You don't purposely throw a game like that. If you're going to throw a game, be like the Detroit Lions. Play it up until the final possession. Go for a field goal. Make sure it's about 60 yards for the win. You kick it. Act like you're trying to make it. You miss it on purpose. And guess what? Then you threw the game. But guess what? You're still competitive for 60 minutes. That's why he got fired. Hey. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Hey, hey, hey. Goodbye. Oh, man. Prater don't miss. Actually, Prater has been missing. He needs a bounce back season. I still believe in Matt Prater, but he needs to have a bounce back season. You Grid and myself wanted JT, but we got Swift. So it was what it is. I ride with Swift now, even though JT is who we thought he was. Hey, absolutely, Josh. Jonathan Taylor, holy smokes. If we would have got him, watch your back. Because guess what? Ain't nobody going to get you. Ain't nobody going to get you. Jonathan Taylor, hey, when he gets into that second and third gear, he's hard to bring down. Like, bro, who the frick does that? It doesn't even hide it. I was so mad. I hope we kill the Eagles and we go for two each time. Hey, that should be a game you guys have circled. Everybody in that division, in the NFC East, you better have that game circled. Like, have that game circled. Brader almost had 2 double doings last game. Yep, absolutely. And see, that's the thing though. Like, he's gonna have to what do you call it? He is gonna have to bring it back to where he has a bounce back. If he can have a bounce back, I still believe in Prater. I think he can have a bounce back. He's still kind of young. He's not like a guy who I used to win a lot of fantasy football. Matt Bryant. He's not up there like that, or Sebastian Janikowski. He's not up there like that, but he is getting up there in age. I understand that. But if he has a bounce back year, man, that's going to be awesome. What's going on, Kelly Gardner? Says talk to you later. All right, Kelly, have a wonderful night, brother. Ingram won't go anywhere. Y'all better not trade your tight end. I mean, for me, I would go after a quarterback, more on that offensive line, and for God's sakes, go get some wide receivers. Like, Sterling Shepard and Golden Tate should not be your top wide receivers. Golden Tate should be your third wide receiver in the slot, where he's phenomenal at, where you have, you can put Sterling Shepard at your number 2, but go out and go get yourself a number 1. And then on top of that, you're gonna get Saquon Barkley back. You upgrade your offensive line and you get a quarterback and a number 1 wide receiver. Giants are gonna be solid. I mean, they're not gonna be world beaters or nothing like that just yet, but they'll have a bounce back season. What's going on, Double S? Says hi. He can't catch. Evan Ingram can catch if he has a quarterback. Parkey needs to be fired from the Browns. He's scary. Giants still need to fix the O-line like most teams. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be the common theme. You win and lose games in the trenches. So I'm always going to preach you got to boost up your offensive line. Even when the Cowboys had a top 5 offensive line, even when the Seattle Seahawks had a top 5 offensive line, you still got to boost it up. Always keep your mind on your offensive line and your defensive line. Those are the two positions, your offensive line and defensive line, that you win and lose games first and foremost at. If you have bad offensive line and defensive line, your middle linebacker and your quarterback are going to have a long day. Because your middle linebacker is your quarterback of the defense. Your quarterback obviously is the quarterback of the offense. So if you have bad offensive lines and defensive lines, Ray Lewis once said it the best. I would not be here in the Hall of Fame if it wasn't for the guys in front of me. What does that mean? He was a middle linebacker. And if it wasn't for his offense or his defensive line, he wouldn't be able to call out the positions and plays and stuff like that to get his guys in the right position. Running back Nick Chubb. Oh, man, Nick Chubb is awesome. Nick Chubb will be a top 3 wide receiver next season. Wait, wide receiver? You mean running back? Did we vein the trade, though? What do you mean, One Pride 40? Did we win the trade? I think the Detroit Lions definitely smoked that trade. A+. You got 2 first-round draft picks and a third? It sure as heck beats a third and a fifth. And we got Jared Goff. We got 4 players for the price of one. That's a dub. W. Win. That is a win. I think the Giants get. I don't think Goff here long term, though. I mean, hey, real talk, though. If he falls flat on his face, one Pride 40, next year, if we trade him, he counts for $0 against the cap. Zero dead money. Scot-free. Like it never happened. Like it never happened. That's why I said quarterback is still on the board. Detroit Lions could still select a quarterback at number 7. Welcome back, Tyler. Happy Lion fans, finally. Josh Allen, future Hall of Famer. Oh my goodness, he could very well be. I was a one and only person in my family that was saying Josh Allen is the freak of nature. That dude is going to be the second coming of Jim Kelly. With the, what do you call it? But this time he might walk out with a Super Bowl. No shot at Jim Kelly, but because it's always Kelly strong, but holy smokes. Like, Josh Allen is awesome. The only thing that we've seen this postseason, he's still young. He had to learn. When you're playing against a world champion and you're in the conference title game, you cannot hold the ball for 4 or 5 or 6 seconds. You got to have that mental clock. Like I was telling you guys in that game, for those of you that was tuning in for the conference title, when you're playing up against world champions, you got to literally take that ball. Once you say hike, drop back. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. By the time you finish 3rd Mississippi, that ball better be out your hand. If you do that, that's going to cut out on those long plays that you get sacked for. 3rd and 25, 4th and 50. Like, what are you doing to be back so far? Like, what are you doing? But that's being young. That's not being in the moment. That's never ever having to deal with that moment. Josh Allen, I believe, came from a small school, so he wasn't in, like the college football playoffs, against your Alabamas, against your LSUs, against your Georgias, against your Auburns, against, these top tier teams, against your Ohio State Buckeyes, against your top tier teams. He wasn't in those positions. So you're going to have a little curve, and this year was that little curve. Now when he comes back into that position, he's going to know, okay, hey, I learned from last year or the following or the year prior, if I hold this ball for too long, I could get a long sack that, is going to be the drive killer. You can't have those drive killers. What do I say about disciplined football? Disciplined football is, being smart with that football as a quarterback, as a team, not picking up penalties on your offensive line for holding. Like I always tell you, go from the inside of your into your chest plates, get inside there, drop your butt, move your feet. 9 out of 10 times you're going to hold that blocker. You're going to contain that pass rush. When you do stuff like that, that is going to help your quarterback stay upright and stay in the pocket to where, he can have the play develop. And if the play gets blown up, well, it gives your quarterback time to read, okay, well, hey, if I go here, if I run it here, I can possibly pick up the first down, or maybe I can pick up a couple yards, make it, say 3rd and short, or 2nd in mid yardage, which would be like, 2nd and 5, pick up 4 or 5 yards on first down, things of that nature. So, Josh Allen is going to be a freak of nature. One Pride 40 says, if not a quarterback, who are you taking? Okay, if it's not a quarterback, you know, I'm with MicroMike on this one. If Panay Sewell is there at number 7 and we don't pick a quarterback, I'm going to pick Panay Sewell. Solidify your offensive line. What did I just get done saying? You solidify those trenches. He's the last piece on the offensive line. Because you went and got Logan Stenberg, you got Jonah Jackson, you got Frank Ragnow, you got Tyler Decker. You'd put Panay Sewell at the right tackle. You still on the bench. You got Terrell Crosby. You still got Bo Benchois, that was an undrafted free agent. That's a solid offensive line right there. That's a solid offensive line right there. If he's not there and we don't take a quarterback, then I'm looking at like guys like Micah Parson, Jabril Cox, a linebacker that's going to move that needle, that's going to be mean, nasty, and tough. I want somebody that you look at that player on defense, they're going to have lasers come out their eyes and burn the eye sockets. Yes, I'm talking about biting the kneecaps off and burning your eye sockets off. That's the type of Lions team I want. I mean, what's more sick and nasty than a linebacker that has lasers coming out of their eyes because they so tough and they're so rough that they're gonna come pound your face in if you let them unguarded, or be there out in coverage like Micah Parsons. You throw him at the Sam linebacker and you let that man go eat, he's gonna be in the Pro Bowl the first year. I guarantee it. Because he's going to get after your quarterback, get those sacks. Micah Parsons is an elite Sam linebacker, which is your strong outside linebacker. He's going to be on that strong side, and he's going to come in like a missile. A guided missile. Sorry, Jerry Davis, your unguided missile. But I absolutely love Micah Parsons, especially at that Sam linebacker. Holy smokes. I've been watching some tape, fellas and ladies in the chat. I've been watching some film, and I'm like, you throw him at Sam linebacker, and you're going to see this man in the Pro Bowl next year. Whoever puts him at Sam linebacker is going to see that his smartness go to the Pro Bowl, because Micah Parsons at the Sam linebacker, he's quick. He has a pass rush. He might not be able to stop the run, but that pass rush, holy smokes. That pass rush, he's going to destroy your quarterback. But, but that's where your line play, your things of that nature, that's where that's going to come into play. There's another one that's going to be, he's real good at coverage. Maybe you go that with maybe a Sam linebacker. Maybe you do that in the second round. When it comes to the draft, shout out to TA of Noble Sports. He was talking about a guy named Jamie Newman. And, in the Pro Bowl, the notes that was written down, I forgot who the source was. Let me look it up real quick. But they're talking bad about him. Then I looked up the stats in the Pro Bowl, and for a third quarterback on that roster, he actually had really solid numbers. He was 10 for 14, 118 yards. He had a touchdown and an interception. But the man was off for a whole entire year. Come on now. The man was off, and this was his first rounds of practice. And you throw him in as a third quarterback, yeah, he's going to have an interception. Let him have a full offseason, get back in the groove of things of that nature. He'll be solid. But they were talking so bad about him, it was just like, oh, he was horrible. Oh, I wouldn't take him, in the first 5 rounds. Like, what? You look at the stats, and it was just like the dude took a year off due to COVID. He put up 118 yards and only missed 4 passes. And one of those passes went for an interception. And 10 others, was down the field and stuff like that and got a touchdown. Sometimes, man, hey, this is why you subscribe and you hit that notification bell for ISN. Because we are trying to defeat the legacy media. And with that, like MicroMike says, and shout out to my brother, make sure you're subscribed to MicroMike. Make sure you're subscribed to the Gridiron Blitz. The Gridiron Blitz, we will all be over there tomorrow on the Gridiron Blitz for Spike Kool-Aid. It is a new show. It can get kind of hot. It can get kind of not. But whatever it is, it's going to be a whole lot of Spike Kool-Aid up in the building. And it's going to be a fun show. We've had fun. This is, I believe, the second show or third show that he's hosted. And it's a real good show. So definitely stay tuned for Spike Kool-Aid tomorrow. And, and then on Thursday, we'll be over on MicroMike's channel for One Pride podcast. That's every Thursday at 6:30. Tomorrow for the Spike Kool-Aids at 7 o'clock. Oh, man, we have a blast over there. And on One Pride podcast, the last, I believe it's last 30 minutes or last 15 minutes during the mailbag segment, that's all with you guys. You guys ask questions, we answer it. You can ask, each individual, or you can ask a whole panel. And, we'll answer your questions and things like that. It's a whole lot of fun. Oh, absolutely, One Pride 40. I mean, now with a receiver, I'm going to trade back a little bit more. I would trade back to, say, about 15. And, maybe a Waddle's there. Or somebody else like that is there. And this is the thing about wide receivers in the first round. I'm not a fan of it. If you're not Calvin Johnson, I'm not a fan of it. You have to be a generational talent. And I'm talking about a 20 years you will not see a player just like this. For me to pick you in the first round. I could pick a guy at wide receiver a dime a dozen in the second, third, and fourth rounds and be dogs. I mean, look at Kenny Golladay. Kenny Golladay was a third-round draft pick. I mean, yeah, he has some deficiencies, but, I mean, who's going to catch those 50-50 balls? You throw it up there and let Kenny Golladay come get it. I love me some Kenny Golladay. I hope we don't get rid of him. But with the money situation, I mean, we might have to. But that's one thing I got a close eye on. What are we going to do now with Kenny Golladay? Because you still got a quarterback in Jared Goff. You throw it up there for him. What's going on, Scott Den? How's it going, brother? But, you throw it up there for Kenny Golladay, he going to come down with it. So, I hope we can keep Kenny Golladay. I really do. But, I mean, if not, then, I get it. We're in a bad cap situation. And it's not going to get better till, next year possibly. Like I said earlier, if, Jared Goff kind of falls flat on his face, then, we can trade him and we're scot-free. We don't owe nothing on the books. No dead cap space, no cap hit, no nothing. Just scot-free, walk away. You go your way, I'll go my way. I don't have to ever speak about Jared Goff again. If he falls flat on his face. If he doesn't, then hey, you keep him an extra year. Every year's after next year, he has to be here next year. This coming up season, he has to be here. But after that, every year is a prove-it deal. Because you could trade him, and it costs nothing. No dead cap space. That is the smartest thing I have ever seen on a contract when you traded for him. That was the one thing that was going to be a deal breaker for me to where I would want Jimmy Garoppolo. Where I would want Jimmy Garoppolo over Jared Goff. But when I found out that all we got to do is keep Jared Goff for at least 1 year, and if he doesn't pan out, we can cut him. I was just like, oh my goodness, like this is gonna be awesome, because if it doesn't work, you can walk away, and you got $20-something million now, so absolutely, I love that trade. Olave went back to college, so Olave is not going to be in this year's draft. Would you take Jamar Chase? I would take Jamar Chase. He's a nice wide receiver. But I mean, I would wish he would fall to the second round. Because I would rather have, a top defensive player, than a wide receiver. But I mean, I get it if you take it, because obviously we have a need for wide receiver. That's no secret. As of today, February 1st, 2021, we only have 2 wide receivers on the book. Geronimo Allison and Quintez Cephas. You need a wide receiver. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. Yes, sir. In a hurry. Because you cannot have just two wide receivers. So I get it. There is a Bateman that you could possibly get if you don't get a Jamar Chase. There's, the Derrn loves this guy named Ahmed Rahman from USC. He could be a player that Detroit goes after. He'd be a nice little 3rd-round draft pick. There's some good. This draft is stacked in wide receivers and running backs, just like every single year. Every single year, there's a bunch of wide receivers and a bunch of running backs. And that's the 2 positions, later in the rounds I would be looking at. 3rd round, we got 2 draft picks. You draft a linebacker 1st round, you get a defensive end, you get or you get a linebacker or a right tackle and a linebacker, whichever way you want to do things. And then in that 3rd year, or I'm sorry, not that 3rd year. Jeez Louise. In that 3rd round, maybe you go running back, wide receiver. You can look at, guys like a Najee Harris, a guy like Trey Sermon. Who else? Chuba Hubbard. You got so many guys at running back, and you can add into the mix, because real talk, I want to get rid of Kerryon Johnson, and I want to get rid of Adrian Peterson. If I got to keep one, fine. Give me 1 more year of Adrian Peterson. Let me get, a brutal running back, one that's going to go up the middle, kind of a north-south type of guy, kind of like how Adrian Peterson was. North-south, one cut, go. Give me one of those kind of guys, behind DeAndre Swift, because DeAndre Swift, he's going to be your skill position where, if you want to throw it to him, you could throw it to him. You want him to go up the middle, he can go up the middle. You want him to go around the outsides, go on the outside. And shout out to Boyd Arborist, says Mark Ingram. Salute, brother. Absolutely. If we bring in Mark Ingram with DeAndre Swift, and then you go out and draft another running back, oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
One more time.
Oh my God.
Ooh-wee. Yes, sir. The Detroit Lions will be running that football, and you will not be able to stop that run. But yes, absolutely, Boyd, I would love Mark Ingram here in Detroit. Ingram is hurt. Careful. Hey, 1 year prove it contract, I don't care. Come here, teach these boys how to play. You know, that's how I'm going at it. I love me some Mark Ingram. All right, Marcus, you have a wonderful night, brother. Scott Dance's sermon would be a gigantic steal in the third round, 4 or 5. Oh, he would be a steal in the third, fourth, or fifth. Absolutely. You know, if we could go get him with you've got Trey Sermon and you got DeAndre Swift, how are you going to stop that run game? How are you going to stop that run game? Because I tell you what, you're not going to be able to. That's a thunder and lightning on steroids, because you ain't stopping that. JD says, who is the Lions backup? Backup to what, JD? What's going on, Rod Love 313? Nico Collins in the third? Okay. JD Waterboy. I'm going to have to do some film study on some Nico Collins. Let me write him down real quick. If my pen will work. Nico Collins. All right. I wrote Nico Collins down. I will have it. I will have some film study on him for tomorrow on Spike Kool-Aid. We're going through a massive rebuild. Yeah, I mean, we are. We are. I mean, they call it a retool. I'm going to still call it a rebuild, you know, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm excited, though. Take Odell Beckham Jr., please, Trox. Nope. Nope. Matt Prater needs his kicking stuff. He needs his kicking net. Nope. Nah, I mean, Lions had a chance to get Odell Beckham. We also had a chance to go get, you know, Aaron Donald. We picked Brandon, or not Brandon Pettigrew. I call him Brandon Buttergrew, but we picked Eric Can't Catch a Pass Ebron. Still leads the league in drop passes.
Oh my God.
You know, Cleveland hates him, Odell Beckham Jr. You know, I know Odell Beckham Jr. has played his last snap with the Cleveland Browns. They're going to try to trade him. Tyler says Titans up. Hey, Tyler, man, you guys have an awesome run game. I mean, King Henry, holy squad. Yeah, I said it, holy squad, because, yeah, that is crazy. That's another thing. You know, we want wide receivers. I think Corey Davis out of Tennessee could be done. He did go to Central Michigan. He could come back to Michigan and be a part of the Detroit Lions. I don't think it's going to cost that much to get him. Maybe about 30-40 million for, you know, 4 or 5 years. You know, I mean, or maybe, you know, it's a prove it type of deal, 1 or 2 years, you know, 20 million, prove it type of thing. I mean, he would definitely be a guy I'll be on the lookout for. Would you take Smith or Waddle? Absolutely, I would take Smith or Waddle. You know, but outside of those three, Smith, Waddle, or Chase, I'm not picking a wide receiver in the first round. I think those are your 3 best wide receivers in the draft. Is, you know, Devontae Smith, LeAdrian Waddle, and Jamar Chase. But outside of that, I'm not really looking at a wide receiver in the first round. And that's real talk. because I can find other guys, in the later rounds and plug and play. Yep, Josh Reynolds is another guy. I think I said that one on One Pride podcast, or it was Spike Kool-Aid. Josh Reynolds has familiarity. He also knows Jared Goff. A guy that, also that Brad Holmes went out and drafted and scouted. That is a guy. He might have fell out of favors. I don't really see them throwing him the ball a whole lot. That tells you something. Teams that are not throwing you the ball a whole lot, maybe they're trying to phase you out. If they're trying to phase him out, I would bring him in. I would definitely bring him in. Hey, shout out to Rod Love 313. I would also bring in Curtis Samuel. I love me some Curtis Samuel. I think he was misused in Carolina. You bring him in here where you got an actual quarterback, things like that. Absolutely bring in Curtis Samuel, Corey Davis, Josh Reynolds. They got a lot of pieces that they can add. Curtis Samuel still he's middle age in wide receiver terms. Corey Davis is still relatively young. I would definitely go after those two guys. Absolutely. Josh Reynolds still relatively young as well. I would definitely go after those three guys. Wish we could have McCole Hardman from Kansas City. Should be good for Lions this season, at least exciting for sure. Absolutely, Jorge. I low-key want Marcus Williams. We broke now. Yeah, I don't know. I would keep our corners. Outside of Desmond Trufant. Maybe try to trade Justin Coleman, the safety from New England, Derrn Harmon, things of that nature. Maybe we do something like that. Reynolds in the slot would be dangerous. Are you ready for this weekend, bro? Absolutely, Jacob. What's going on, brother? But I am going to end this here in a little bit. But I'm gonna be on, for these talking type videos, getting your guys' thoughts on things. So, have your guys' questions ready and things like that. Maybe on Wednesday I am thinking about doing something big for a celebration since this is Super Bowl week. I'm gonna try to do like a celebration for you guys getting me 10,000 subscribers in a single season. I'm at 12,400 subscribers, so I want to do something special for you guys. I'm in the works of, getting some things to where I can do a giveaway, but stay tuned for that. And, I'm going to definitely be doing a whole lot of different things for you guys and, in appreciation for you guys. But stay tuned, you guys. I should be on Wednesday for that. And I got to talk to a couple people and things like that. Make sure I get everything all down pat. And once that happens, we can go from there and try to have it this week. I want to have that this week, before the Super Bowl. And Ian Brooks to Detroit. That wouldn't be a bad idea. But with that being said, I love you all. Stay safe, and I will see you guys tomorrow on Gridiron Blitz's channel for Spike Kool-Aid. All right, everybody, stay safe.